Hey guys, okay, so in this video I'm going to show you how you're going to work your e-collar. So every night you're going to put your e-collar on charge. There is a charging port back here, and then there is one underneath here. When you plug them in, I'll show you real quick. They'll turn solid red. When they're fully charged, this will turn solid green. Every morning I'll take it off charge. I just plug it in every night, just like I do my cell phone. They do have a 2-hour rapid charge, so if you forget to charge it one night, you need to get a little bit of juice out of it, you can throw it on charge for half an hour and get some. But when you wake up every morning, you're going to take them off charge, and this is what everything will look like. Nothing will be on. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to hold down on this button back here. It says on, off, and light. It's the big button on the back. So you're going to hold down that button until you see your blue LED come on, and that means your remote is on. Now to pair it to your collar, you have a red magnet right here and a red magnet right here. You don't need to touch any buttons. Like I said, they're magnets. You're just going to touch them together. It blinks green. That means they're paired. And now you can see it's blinking green, as is this. When I press my button, you see red. So that means you're all paired. To go over all of the features on the remote, right up here you have something that says 1D. That just means you have a one-dog system. That will always be there. That's not going to change. This dial up here is going to control the level that your collar is set on. And that dial is pretty quick, so you can kind of play with that and get a feel for it. The main buttons that you're going to use is really going to be this top black button set above your red button. This is your stimulus button. You see it has an S on it. This is going to be your boost button. So if you hit that, you can see it goes red and it pairs to the collar. You also have this little C back here next to your number. That means that your collar is set to consistent, which is what I just explained to you, which is the black button is your normal stimulus button, and this is going to jump it up 5 numbers from whatever you're at. So it goes 14 to 19. Okay. So in order to change that, you're going to keep it set to consistent, but just so you know, in case it does change, it's this little button back here. You have to hold it in, and then it actually makes that little beep noise that you heard, and then it changes it to momentary and consistent. Momentary means your collar is going to react for 1/16 of a second, or for as long as you see that red light go, is as long as they will feel the stimulus for. That will now make your red button your consistent button, which is as long as I hold down the button, or up to 12 seconds, he will feel a continuous stimulation. I personally just like to leave my collars set to consistent. My reasoning for that is if I want to do momentary, I can just tap my button. If I want to do consistent, I can just hold my button. So personally, I just like it set to that. So just keep your collar set to C. It'll be on that when your dog comes home. So the next button you have over here is a T button. That means that this is a test button. So that's just going to vibrate it like it would your cell phone. You kind of hear it. It's just so if you put your collar on your dog and you feel like they're not feeling the stimulus and you don't want to keep going up on the numbers, you can click the T, the test button, and it'll still show you the red light, and it'll vibrate it instead of stimulating on the contact points. And that will let you know if they are paired properly or not. You do also have a light feature on here. So on the back, when you had your big on-off button, in order to turn this on every morning, you're going to hold that in. If you want to use the light feature, though, you can just give it one click, and you have a strobe light. If you want to give it one more click, you have a solid flashlight. One more click turns it off. That's a great feature for if you want to let your dog outside at night real quick, let him go potty, but you can't see real good. That's a really good feature for that. So the only other feature that is on here is you can lock your number in place, but again, that's a feature that I don't tend to use because we're going to go up and down on our numbers a lot depending on the distraction level. But if you do notice your numbers aren't rolling for any reason, that means you held in on your dial and it locks your number in place. And in order for that to go away, you just hold in on your dial again and it unlocks it now. So that is all of the features. The only other thing that I'd like to go over is kind of the tightness for your collar. So it's important that when you put your collar on your dog that it makes contact points make contact with your dog's skin and not just their fur. So if you put it on really loose like this, what happens is you see they're going to like walk around and like you're going to be buzzing that and they're not going to feel it, and all of a sudden they're going to look up and now it's touching my skin and they're going to feel it at a really high level. We don't want that. We want low levels. So just make sure when you put your collar on, I usually make it so that it's tight, and then I usually go down maybe like a notch or two, but I make it so that you can fit 2 to 3 fingers underneath the collar, but not, it's enough that I can move it if I need to, but it's not going to move around on its own. Okay? So that's all of the features for your Mini Educator e-collar remote. Hope that's helpful.